I think another change that needs to happen, there's going to be two changes that we believe need to happen at wide receiver. And the first one is Tobias Merriweather needs to play. No more of this. Look, and this is all we've heard. we've heard about, oh, well, he does. You got to earn trust. You got to do this. I'm so tired of hearing that over the years. I'm so sick of hearing that. I thought when Brian Kelly was gone, we would be done with that. I mean, there were times on Saturday on defense, both of the corners were true freshmen, right? You got to give them a chance to play. Tobias Merriweather's too talented, and everything we've heard from all of our sources, everything coaches said publicly is he works hard, right?
Mm-hmm.
So this whole he doesn't know the whole offense, I don't care. I do not care. Number one, it's your job as a coach to get him going. It starts with Tommy Rees and it goes to Chancey Stuckey. Get him going, number one. Number two, figure out what he does know right now and help him become really good at that, and then get him the flipping ball. Because what's happening right now is you have a bunch of smaller guys. Lorenzo Styles is your long receiver. Jaden Thomas is a different animal. We'll get to him here in a minute. But as far as the guys can stretch vertically, well, when you have smaller receivers and you're running a bunch of vertical stuff and vertical meaning four verts, and then off of horizontal stretches, your margin for error on those smaller players is a lot smaller.
Yep.
When you got a big 6'4" kid with super long arms, guess what? He's covered. Don't care. Throw it up. Let him go make a play on it. Right?
Back
and
shoulder, throw it up in the air.
Yep. They should have done the first two games. Flat out, no excuses. Don't want to hear any BS. Don't care if it was Ohio State. Don't care about anything. No excuse. Coaching fail. Right? Simple as that. But here's the great thing about coaching fails. I've made them, Ryan. I've made coaching mistakes, personnel-wise, all types of things. You've made them when you were a coach. You got a chance to correct them. As long as you still have games left, you have a chance to correct them. So this isn't a bash Tommy, bash Chancey. Hey, this is what you did. It was the wrong move. Fix it. Get Tobias going. I can't tell you, time and time again, how many times I've heard from a defensive player or a defensive, someone associated with a defensive player, whatever else the case may be, of being in a situation that says, hey, look, man, the toughest kid that we have to guard in practice is Tobias Merriweather. So there's literally no, I haven't heard a single, like you'd hear from some people things about Jordan Johnson and make say, yeah, okay, I understand why they don't trust him. I think he should have played more, but I understand why they didn't trust him. I haven't heard any of that about Tobias Merriweather. And he was a better player coming out than Jordan Johnson was. So flat out, he needs to play. And I'm not talking about just giving him 5-10 snaps a game. He needs to play. He needs to play. Honestly, for me, right now, if I'm at Notre Dame or if I'm Marcus Freeman or if I'm Tommy Rees and I'm going to step up and say, hey, what needs to happen? Here's what needs to happen. Your starting receiving core is Lorenzo Styles and Tobias Merriweather on the outside and Braden Lindsey in the slot. And then I'm going to move Braden and Lorenzo around a little bit and say this is what we're doing. We're going with speed and size. And then Jaden Thomas, you're going to mix in at different spots. That's fine. When Joe Wilkins gets back, he can mix in at different spots when he's more healthy. Deion Colsey gets healthy, he can. But that's my starting lineup. That's what I'm rolling with. Yep. Those three at receiver and Chris Tyree at running back is my starting lineup, and then mixing in those other players. That's flat out what they need to do starting now. I'm not talking about playing them a little bit more, Ryan. I'm saying screw it. Row and two, right?
Yeah.
The veterans that know everything have yet to get to 20 points in a game. You're 0-2. You just lost to Marshall.
Mm-hmm.
Play him.
This is another bizarre one for me because we spent most of the summer leading into the fall, Brian, talking about which big receiver is going to kind of be a breakout. And obviously that's talking about Tobias Merriweather and it's talking about Deion Colsey. And with Deion Colsey out, you need to supplement the size somewhere, man. Like you need it, right? Like it's just seems like such a no-brainer that he should be playing football. And again, like I understand partly to it. I know me and Sean were talking about it a little bit yesterday. If there's not trust there, I get it to a degree, but to your point, you can simplify a wide receiver's responsibilities pretty easily, right? Like you can give him a little bit of a niche role and maybe a abbreviated offense that he can run, or at least abbreviated section of the playbook where he can become a player in your offense. And right now with the inconsistencies you're having at wide receiver, with the depth issues you're having at wide receiver, there's no reason for him not to play.
It's not like other dudes are playing well And you can
Right.
justify, hey, look, here's why he's not playing. Like in 2018, they should have played Braden Lindsey and Kevin Austin a little bit more. But the excuse was, yeah, but who am I taking off? Miles Boykin is having a great year. Chase Claypool's having a really good year. Chris Fink was really good. You could somewhat understand it then. My whole thing is, yeah, I mean, those guys need breathers too. They wore down a little bit in November. But it's like you could at least understand it. After what we saw the first 2 games, I'm sorry. There is no justification for it. There is no excuse for it. Unless the kid's not working hard, which nobody I've ever talked to has said about him, or unless the kid literally just doesn't know a single play, then, look, then okay, here's what you do then. Give him a freaking wristband and write on there, this is what you do on every play. Right? I've done that before.
Or have Lorenzo Styles whispered into his ear, like whatever it takes, man. Like there's options to figure that stuff out. There's options to figure that out.
Yes.
But needs to happen. Needs to happen.
That has to happen, and it has to happen right now. Okay? Because in 2 years, you've got a chance to have this receiving core look a whole lot different. And part of the reason that you're not hearing enough about these guys haven't played a lot of snaps is because you didn't play them in the past. That's why. And so, just like last year, Lorenzo Styles should have been a part of that rotation day one, especially once Lawrence Keys bailed. Then he flat out should have been a guy from day one, but they waited until Joe Wilkins got hurt against Cincinnati before they got to that part.